Beautiful turnout tonight at the William H.G. Fitzgerald Tennis Center. They expect an absolute sellout, 7,526 to be exact, as Andre Agassi takes some last-minute practice serves before this semifinal. Good atmosphere in the crowd tonight. It's kind of electric, Lee.
No, it is. Anytime this man steps on the court, he's playing some of the best tennis of his career this year. Just under 6 feet tall, 32 years old, well-documented citizen of Las Vegas.
Wants to make everybody sure that that is his hometown, especially those tax folks.
Look at the record this year, 40-6. It says a lot about how impressive a run he has been having. Champions race, number 4, and making some bank this year. Although I think money is incidental. Agassi, obviously having already earned a king's ransom, but certainly plays with great pride and great respect for the game. Very impressive coming through against Oakland, against Brian Vahaley, a wild carder out of the University of Virginia. And Thomas Enqvist, the Swede. So a good solid run for Agassi.
Well, that was the big win last night. We are ready to go here. This is best of 3. James Blake serving from the far side. Opens up with a 117-mile-per-hour bomb, and I think that's going to be the key tonight, Lee. Blake is going to have to serve maybe the best match of his career service-wise to keep Agassi off balance. 15 love.
And that's another point there that Blake has to be careful with. He has to serve well, and he's got to back it up well. He can't make easy errors like that. He's got to play well tonight.
I love the Agassi approach on the return. Watch how he gets down. He is so ready to return serve all the time. Look at that stance. Great balance. No, it's going to go wide. Andre saw the opening down the line, went for it. Blake looking pretty patient right now. Side out, that will go long. These two have only played one time, Leaf, back in Los Angeles, 2001. Andre Agassi winning that match. So it's been a while since they've met. Serve volley, James Blake. Off to a quick start. Holds 1-love Blake.
Well, Blake has had a pretty impressive run here. Really not having any problems. 22 years old. Playing out of Tampa, Florida. His family resides in Connecticut. And a very impressive record, 27-17.
Andre Agassi.
And this result should pick him up into the low 20s. So a good chance for him to move up, not only in the champions race, but also in the entry system. And again, has yet to lose a set. And look at that win in the quarterfinals. Alex Corretja 4-4, so he routined a very strong player.
Very impressive win. Down 3-love in that first set against Corretja, and he comes back to win it in straight sets. That's a big, big win for James Blake. Forehand, open court. That's his weapon, isn't it, Leaf? That forehand.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, Agassi has to be careful of this forehand. And Blake, of course, wants to try and bring it into play as often as he can. He does it well that point.
Love 15. Oh, that's a great shot from Agassi on the full run. Andre, who had a big serving night last night against Enqvist, 15 aces for Agassi. That's very solid serving. A lot of people just figure Agassi gets that ball in play, but the serves become a weapon.
Now, there really hasn't been a part of his game that he's, hasn't improved. I mean, everything's gotten stronger. He's gotten stronger as an athlete as well.
Blake going for a big return, overhits it. 30-15, second game, first set. This is best of 3. Ooh, tries to slice up the line, catches the tape.
Darren Cahill just joining forces with Andre Agassi this season. And I think having a very strong influence on why Agassi has done so well.
Darren, who used to coach Leighton Hewitt just about a year ago, and Darren Cahill, very talented Australian, got to the semis at the U.S. Open one year. Boy, he could play. Loved to serve and volley. And Agassi, a little impatient, catches the tape, and now James Blake with an early opportunity, break point. It's a false second serve. Tense moments early in this match as Agassi now in a little trouble. And he goes for a big one. Ooh, it looked wide. Let's listen. Wow. Blake thought that was a double fault.
Now this is unbelievable.
That ball was definitely wide of the center service line there, and a break as Steve Ulrich will not overrule.
Yeah, that's a tough one to overrule, but certainly
Ooh.
that's when the linesman has to feel good that he's got to call one way or the other. That time he left it alone.
Look out. And Blake right back. Great timing leap on that topspin lob.
This is a tough shot to execute. And watch how he's able to get underneath this backhand and just roll up the back of the ball. He's in trouble. But oftentimes when you are in trouble, you can hit that shot.
Yeah, volley from Agassi. It goes long. And so James Blake draws first blood. He breaks serve in the second game and leads it 2-love. Tremendous topspin lob there on the run.
Great start for Blake, but that's the kind of tennis he can play. He can come up with the big shots. And now the test for him today is going to be maintaining that level. And keep the errors down, but consistently be aggressive.
Pace and gives him a little more.
Well, this is James Blake at his best. And again, this is a side that he has improved so much over the last 6 months. The backhand, able to play that drive convincingly down the line.
This hit off the return, 30-love.
And that was a part of his game he needed to improve, and he's done it. And that's why he's able to beat guys like Alex Corretja, why he's able to do the great things he's doing. Adding weapons to the repertoire all the time.
Service ace down the center, his first of the match. 125 miles per hour. Blake's fastest serve of the week. He's cranking it up tonight. With that two-hander, such control into that far forehand corner.
It was a half volley, really. I mean, the timing is exquisite.
Well, that's what Blake said earlier in this show. His hand-eye coordination, superb. That will go long. And James Blake, the former All-American out of Harvard University, putting on a show thus far. He's up a break and 3-love in the first set. 3 games to love. James Blake over Andre Agassi here in Washington, semifinal action. And I think that's about the best 3 games of tennis we've seen James Blake play thus far.
Yeah, no, he's exploded out of the blocks here.
Been to net 4 times, won all 4 points.
But
Andre.
sadly, this isn't a sprint. This is going to be a marathon, and Blake is going to have to maintain this level.
That will go wide. Agassi 15 love. It's good. Semifinal action from Washington, D.C. Andre Agassi taking on James Blake. We're at the Legg Mason Tennis Classic. I'm Barry McKay along with Leif Shirus, bringing you the action on Fox Sports Net. And James Blake on the far side, a great start, up 3 love against the #1 seed, Andre Agassi. Ball long, just over the baseline. Very close call. A few whistles from this packed house here at the William H.G. Fitzgerald Tennis Center. That's wide. So Agassi now with a chance to get on the board.
Yeah, Agassi's digging his heels here. You know, he wants to get on the board, reestablish that he's in this set, and get back to business on the Blake serve.
Just over the service line. It's a great point from Agassi. And this crowd, a big hand. They love him here in Washington. 56 players showed up here last Monday. Only 3 left. Peridon Shishipan, a big win this afternoon over Marcelo Rios. He awaits the winner of this match.
Yeah, and he's had a good run. Took out Jarkko Niemen, and another up-and-coming young player out of Finland. This guy's a nice left-hander. Of course, Meligeni down there at the bottom. He took out Andy Roddick. So the Brazilian ultimately beaten by Rios, however. So some interesting developments in the lower half, but certainly a deserving young man in Peridon Srishipan.
Nice change of pace from Blake. Sort of jammed Agassi there. Andre not happy with the return. 15 love.
That's a good serve into Agassi. You know, make him get out of the way.
Big serve down the middle, 118 miles per hour. Big angle. Blake with the open court. Unloads on the forehand once again.
Yeah, Blake is in the zone right here. I mean, just hitting the ball beautifully, setting up perfectly on the forehand. That's one of his favorite shots.
Just over the service line, and Andre hits a winner, but it was a fault. That will go wide, and so Blake with the first love game of the set. James Blake on a roll, 4-1. Stay with us. We're in Washington at the Legg Mason Tennis Classic. Welcome back to center court, the Legg Mason Tennis Classic, and our annual trip to Washington. We'd like to welcome the co-founder and chairman of this event, Donald Dell. Donald, great to have you with us.
Barry, it's fun to be here.
Good match we got going, huh?
Fabulous match.
I don't think
Blake's come out of the blocks like a sprinter.
I don't think we've seen Blake play 4 games like that since we saw him a year ago. Blake overhits the forehand.
Well, he's reacted well, I think, to a big moment here. And he's faced a lot of big moments, so I think he's starting to feel more and more comfortable and feeling like he belongs in a situation like this on the weekend, playing the best players in the world.
Right on the baseline, Agassi with a big forehand.
And again, the classic 1-2, the big serve, and then setting up that forehand from inside the baseline. Guys made a living out of that.
Donald, we talked before the match, and Blake definitely has a little more zip in all of his game tonight, I think.
Well, the thing that's surprising is his variety of stroke. He's done a lot of different things in the first 5 games that I didn't think he could do. He's served, he's come in, he's hit winners, which we knew he could do, but he's had a lot of mixing up the game, and that's unusual for Blake.
Agassi with his second ace of the evening, and a big roar goes up. They love him here in Washington.
Well, actually, it's, I think, a perfect setting for Blake because he's the underdog. The crowd likes Blake. They like Agassi, too. But it's a perfect place where there's no pressure on him, and he can really hit out and really try to play the best he can play. And we saw him play awfully well against Roddick in Memphis a few months ago in February.
Had a good chance down there. Roddick won that match. Second serve now. 7th game. First set. And a huge forehand from Blake, inside out.
And he hit 3 good deep balls from the baseline, Barry, in that rally, one after the other. Watch him moving around, sets up the forehand, leaps as he makes contact. The ball pretty deep there, and Agassi couldn't react.
Whenever you get a clean winner past Agassi, you've hit a shot. That's a let. No net court judges. Electronic device on top calling the lets. Oh, yes.
You know, it's incredible. Everyone's sitting here wondering, can he keep this up?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
he has.
He really has. And what's so amazing is that he's able to do it off both wings. I mean, his backhand, he's hitting it beautifully. Again, great preparation. He's got his front foot down. He's just seeing the ball like a watermelon. It's big, and he's able to hit it where he wants to.
Ace number 2, 124 miles per hour, right down the center.
Arthur Ashe used to say, this guy is in the zone. That's what Blake's doing. So confident and so loose. And it's all because of the quick start.
That will go wide, and so James Blake holds. Stay with us. We're at the Legg Mason Tennis Classic in Washington, with the NF show on premiering this September on Fox Sports Net.
See, Agassi's going to hang in here. He's going to try and weather the storm of winners from Blake, hold his serve, and hope that Blake cools off. I'm not sure Agassi's ever seen a player do this to him in a set of tennis.
He certainly has out-hit him from the baseline consistently here in the first 7 games.
Yeah, you don't see many guys out-hitting Agassi. I mean, this guy is the ultimate duelist.
Blake has a total of 10 outright winners to Agassi's 3.
That is a great move. That's the shot we talked about earlier, Donald, that I think Blake has got to keep trying. That approach on the second serve.
Well, he executed it perfectly as you see him come into the net. Very short ball. He plays this rather casually. But a perfect touch.
A little risky. No call. Agassi on the sideline, and so Andre now trying to stay in this first set. 40-15. goes for a big second serve.
100
His
miles
first
per
double.
hour on that second ball he was hitting.
Yeah, he went for it all. Darren Cahill, under his coach, a little perplexed. No. And his second double of the match.
That's a bad time to double fault, Leaf. Let's Blake get back in this service game. He'd love to win it here and start the second set with his own serve.
Exactly. Great chance for Blake.
It's 5 faults in a row for Agassi. Just wide. Yes, Agassi with ace number 3 right down the center. And again, the roar from this crowd. And so now James Blake steps up to try and win the first set. Just long. Oof. Well, Blake has yet to lose a set this week, Donald. So
he's had an awfully good week too. He beat Correa in the third round, who beat Gonzalez, who I thought might win the tournament, and he beat him pretty easily, 4-1. And then he beat Alex Correia, who won the tournament here 2 years ago. Straight sets, 4-4.
Agassi gets jammed once again, Leaf. That's working well.
Yeah, some of the mistakes that Agassi's are making, I think, are really due to footwork. You know, his feet look just a little bit slow. You can see he's not quite moving. Plus the faults on his serve, most of them going in the net, which is a sign that perhaps his legs are a little fatigued.
Wow. 125 miles per hour. Ace number 3 takes James Blake to set point. No. First double fall. What do you think, Donald? 40 love? Maybe not a bad play.
Well, he took a chance on that second serve, but I'm just surprised he can out-hit Agassi game after game. That surprises me. And he's done it consistently. First set here. You keep thinking Agassi will get more rhythm, but Blake is hitting the ball so hard, he's not getting any rhythm.
It's long. That will go long, and there it is. James Blake, a red-hot 22-year-old, with the first set from Washington. James Blake, a very impressive first set win, 6-3. Well, here's what James Blake had to say about where he stands right now.
I definitely feel like I'm playing the best tennis of my career because I feel like I'm getting better all the time. There are definitely down times, times when you're playing bad for a match or a couple games, whatever, but I feel like every day I'm getting better, so I'm trying to make those days that are off days a little less and just much less frequent, and I feel like it's coming around and I'm getting better and better, which hopefully can help me peak for the U.S. Open, which is a really big deal for me because it's where I grew up. I got a lot of hometown fans, and it's just such a big tournament, you know, for any American to be playing well at the U.S. Open. That's their goal, and other than the Davis Cup, there's really nothing bigger for me, I don't think.
Well, he's better today than he was yesterday, Donald.
Well, he says it all right there. It's like he has a preview of this match.
Boy, he really came to life, and now Agassi in immediate trouble.
Exactly. He doesn't want to lose the opening game here and get behind a break.
That's good. That will go wide. And now Andre Agassi, first game, second set, down triple break point. Big opportunity for Blake to get off to a flying start here. He already has the first set. Oh, and Blake just unloads on a backhand down the line. 4 quick points, and James Blake now with a break.
Andre there spins the second serve. It's a little short. Look at Blake attack it, and Andre just watches it go down for a winner. Watch his bounce. He gets in, changes his grip, and beautiful stroke inside out on the backhand.
You know, and that's the kind of serve that he can anticipate, because guys aren't going to go into his forehand. So he's waiting on that.
It sounds corny, but I think Agassi's shell-shocked. I don't think he thought that Blake could hit this many winners.
It is shocking.
Blake, who has won 8 of the last 9 points now. And there's another 9 out of 10.
And in the first set, James Blake has lost only 3 points on his serve. As we start that second set with a break.
No. He mishits the return. Net cord, and it goes wide.
Well, that's how things are going for Agassi. They're in the front row in the glasses. Betty, and behind Tom Sr., James Blake's parents, and certainly enjoying what they're seeing, no doubt.
Wow. And yet another winner. Blake's third love came, and a smile comes across his face. He can't believe it either.
It reminds me of Michael Jordan in that game against the, was it the Portland Trailblazers, when he was just shaking his head saying, hey, I just hit 6 3-pointers in the first quarter. And he has not missed a ball, and he's pretty much been swinging for the fences, every one of them going in.
14 winners by Blake in a set in 2 games.
And finally, Blake with an error. And listen, this crowd, Donald, they want Agassi desperately to get in.
But Agassi has to win this game, or he could be out of the match.
Another winner.
Well, you know, he is awfully slow to his right on the forehand side. He doesn't move well at all.
Well, Agassi had a long, hard match last night, so he's probably got a little bit of a hangover from that. But again, Blake is playing his absolute best tennis.
In again on that nice approach. Did you whisper in his ear, Donald, before
Well,
this?
it's picture perfect. Everything he's done has paid off. It's really astounding the way he's played Agassi.
And yet another winner. And now James Blake with 2 break points to go up 3 low.
This is the favorite shot of Blake. That backhand. Look how far in front he hit it for a cross-court angle winner.
Second serve. That will go long as well, and Andre Agassi gets broken once again. James Blake on a roll, up a set, and 3 love. Right here on Fox Sports Net. We'll see if Blake can keep the composure that he's had thus far. 12 of the last 13 points. Agassi looking a little impatient.
Well, I think Agassi keeps overhitting, trying to out-hit him. Why not just stay back and rally a few? Try to get the ball and play deep and get some feel and get some rhythm, which he doesn't have. Because Blake's not letting him get into a pattern.
It's wide.
But he doesn't have to go for his shots like that.
Yep.
He's been just missing by a couple of inches, but the match is slipping away.
Again, it's wide.
I mean, these are the pressure moments for young James Blake. So for Agassi, you want to keep that pressure on him. Don't give him any free points. Make him run through the tape at the finish.
Oh, another overhead. So now Blake at game point to go up 4-love. That's good. Net cord, that'll go wide.
What a phenomenal stat. 22 unforced errors by Agassi. 4 by Blake.
Blake, who has only lost 4 points in this entire match on his serve. No call, service ace out wide, his 4th, and Blake holds to go to 4-love. Darren Cahill, Australian coach of Andre Agassi, obviously concerned.
Yeah, and he's got to be thinking, oh my.
We will have the finals tomorrow. Paradon Sishapan, brilliant youngster from Thailand, will take on the winner of this match. Check your local listings. We'll have it for you on Fox Sports Net. Another error. I think Blake's sensing, Donald, right now that he just needs to keep that ball in play. And finally, Agassi with the winner.
Watch Andre set up there beautifully. Gets down low off the left foot. His weight going into the shot. That's his classic forehand. This match is only 40 minutes old, and it could well be over in another game or two.
Agassi keeping it in play, and now a chance to hold here.
Well, if Blake can hold on here, I'm sure Patrick McEnroe will look at this and say, well, this might be the guy I want to choose for the Davis Cup team to play beside Andy Roddick when the guys take on France in September at Roland Garros.
I think if he wins this tournament, that's exactly what McEnroe will be doing.
Double fault number 4.
And even though it's on clay at Roland Garros, you know, you just have to think, hey, this guy's playing too good on any surface. Remember, Blake had a good run in Rome on the clay. Got to the quarterfinals there. So I think he's showing that he can play on almost any surface, and perhaps this performance showing he can play any one.
Oh, it's wide.
See a solid record. And again, you put Roddick's record undefeated with Blake, you got a pretty nice combination. And I think, you know, McEnroe already looking at Blake, having played doubles with Martin and having won in Cincinnati as a possible doubles team too.
Has Agassi taken himself totally out of Davis Cup?
Well, he hasn't yet. He hasn't said no, but I have a feeling because he hasn't played yet this season, I don't think he will commit to playing that match in Paris.
Game point, Agassi. It's a fault.
Agassi needing this game desperately. And gets it.
And finally, Agassi holds, and again this crowd trying to get him back in the match. James Blake up 4-1. The two-time All-American from Harvard. The intensity of James Blake. Stay with us. A stunned center court here in Washington as James Blake has played some brilliant tennis thus far as his folks look on. Now Blake up 4-1 in the second set. I'm Barry McKay along with co-founder and chairman of this tournament, Donald Dell, and Leif Shiras. Certainly, Donald, a shocked audience here thus far.
The audience is as stunned as we are.
They really are.
Blake has been phenomenal. And you know, how many times can you say that? But Agassi is moving really badly to his right. I don't know whether he's tired from last night. He finished about 10 last night in a tremendous struggle with Enquist. Tiebreaker.
That's wide. Blake thought he might have had the ace down the center. 116 miles per hour. And another winner. Was Blake's 19th winner of this match. Look out, that's good. Just long. I thought he had him, Donald. Great touch.
Smart play. And Blake conceded that lob,
Yes, he
but
did.
it went out.
Well, these are the kinds of things Agassi needs to do. You know, he needs to put a lot of balls into play and force Blake to win this.
James Blake up 5-1, second set. Andre Agassi serving to stay alive in this match. Down a set, down 5-1. Look at those stats.
Unbelievable. 20 winners to 7. That's the whole match.
Finally, Andre puts together a couple of big forehands.
Well, it's amazing that Blake has been able to do this on one of Andre's favorite courts. I mean, he's the one normally handing out the beatings.
Another winner off the backhand.
Andre, of course, Barry's won this tournament 5 times in the 90s. That's pretty good.
He owns his place,
Yeah,
Donald.
he
It's
really does.
amazing. Well, finally, Levy gets a deep second serve.
And one of the few times that Blake hasn't been able to chip and charge. I mean, Blake's really been doing everything he wants to do tonight.
Just catches the tape, and now Agassi, as this crowd roars once again, trying to hang in here on center court. Wow, Andre with one of his biggest serves, Donald, and boom, it comes back faster.
I think Blake is doing very well on the return. He's way behind baseline there. He's about 2.5 feet back on that first serve.
And Agassi holds. When we return, James Blake serves for a berth in the finals. Our man Len hard at work, and now James Blake tries to close out this match, missing with the backhand. And don't you think, Donald, at this point maybe there's a tendency to rush just a little if you're Blake?
Oh sure, because this would be his biggest win in his life, particularly these scores. He's got to feel a little pressure.
That's good. Just catches the sideline. Leaf, it looks to me like that forehand's getting better.
Well, he hasn't done much wrong today. But again, this is the pressure moment for him, trying to close out. Winning the last few points, oftentimes the most difficult challenge for a tennis player.
Second serve. Just catches the tape. Now James Blake 2 points away from a major upset here in Washington. Solid return.
Well, nice try by Blake there to just throw in a little variety.
That was a smart play, Leaf. They did that very well. He snuck in there. The ball was returned very low. It was a smart play.
That's good. Agassi with the control.
Well, we haven't seen Blake in trouble on his serve yet today. And Agassi puts him in it by hitting one of his favorite backhands.
Agassi's first break point of the match. Big opportunity now. Second serve. And overhit. It is long, and Agassi has broken back.
Well, this crowd is really for Andre at this point. They're doing everything to encourage him.
Well, they want Andre, but they also want a little more tennis, I'm sure.
Both. Blake is smirking there. He knows he missed an opportunity, but he's still in charge.
The match only 53 minutes old as Agassi steps up to serve to try and hang in here.
I still believe that Andre is either stiff or sore or a little tired because he's not moving well laterally the entire match. But Blake is hammering him with winners.
Just over the service line. This crowd pulling for Agassi so hard. No.
Well, Barry, if this were a backgammon game, Agassi is playing backgammon. You know, his board's completely covered, yet he's somehow managing a way to get back into this thing. And he's going to force Blake to serve it out.
Spectacular shot from James Blake.
Now Blake with the chip in charge. He does the little chip, comes in. Andre keeps the ball very low, but look at that marvelous backhand drop volley. He gets in, great balance here. Terrific touch.
It's long. And now Agassi with a chance to hold and force Blake to serve once again.
You know, I think, Donald, that necessity is really driving Agassi to improve his movement. That time he got over to that forehand and
yeah, he did.
had a little bit of interest behind it.
Didn't miss by much, just wide, 119 miles per hour.
Oh, my Lord, what a good return. Keeps the backhand way in front of him.
His 23rd winner of the match.
Watch how early he catches that ball. Beautiful backhand, the wrist action well in front of his right shoulder.
Catches the tape, and Agassi stays alive, and this crowd loves it. 5-4, James Blake leads. We're in Washington at the Legg Mason Tennis Classic. The 22-year-old former All-American looks for help from above, and he'll serve for it when we return. A big hand for both players here in Washington, and a little more for this man, Andre Agassi, as he tries to claw his way back into this match. Blake led 5-1 in this second set, and now he serves for the match at 5-4.
Oh, boy. He really wanted to serve with authority and set the pattern.
Blake with his 5th ace, and that was our Comcast serve of the match. Oh. It's good. Agassi overhits. I thought he had him, Donald, with that shot down the line, Agassi.
But that first point ace really set the tone for Blake.
Just wide. This match now 1 hour old. Second serve. It's good. And that was better. Agassi with one of his best forehands of the night.
Well, again, really forced to move wide right. And Agassi responds, because this is a big shot right here. That's a tester, and Agassi's out there and able to snap it back cross court. Again, trying to find some greatness buried in amongst that fatigue.
No, off the frame of the racket. And now James Blake at double match point for a berth in the championship tomorrow. That's long. And that's too good.
I have never seen such shot-making ability by a kid like that. Unbelievable match.
The last shot said it all, Donald. A brilliant forehand return and a standing ovation for both players here in Washington. Leaf, have you ever seen a display for 2 sets quite like that? Leaf on his way over to try and find our winner, and a huge crowd here. A standing ovation for a brilliant display. Agassi Donald, a 5-time champion, obviously very disappointed.
Yeah, I think he's shell-shocked. He can't quite believe the match ended in an hour, and he didn't deuce a set.
And so James Blake, a brilliant display here in Washington, 6-3, 6-4. We'll talk to him when we return. A beautiful night in Washington. A very beautiful night for James Blake as he wins in straight sets over Andre Agassi, 6-3 and 6-4. He's with Leif Shires. Leif.
Thank you, Barry. James, I think the question that everyone wants to know is, what did you eat for breakfast this morning?
Oh man, I tried to make it like a normal day. Just had my usual omelet and a little bit of cantaloupe.
And then you took on one of the all-time greats in the evening, and you played perhaps the best tennis match of your life. Can you tell us what was going on?
I'm not really sure. You guys might have to tell me. I just went out there and tried to pretend like it was a normal day, knowing full well that it wasn't. But I just had to play my best. I knew I had to play my best just to stay in the match. And luckily, he might have had a little bit of an off day, and I played about as well as I can play. I'm just happy it was on this day.
Well, you were hitting your backhand well, getting your front foot down, your little chip in charge, so you played with variety. The forehand was clicking.
Yeah, I tried to play with as much variety as possible because, you know, you give Agassi a groove, he's going to be the best in the world at just ripping you off the court. So I didn't want to let that happen. And luckily today, all those things were working for me.
Well, you told me that Matt Wilander once said about playing top guys that, what?
Well, he said it's easier to beat those guys, you know, 3-3 instead of beating them 5 in the third because they're so loose in that third set. They're ready to battle all day. They've been in those matches the whole time. So if you catch them on an off day, you got to capitalize. So I tried to learn from him.
Well, what happened at 5-2? You lost your serve? Were you struggling with your nerves a bit?
I think so. The whole day I had been trying to not think about it too much and not really realize I'm playing Agassi or something like that. And once it got to 5-2, I think that changeover before 5-2 is the longest changeover I've ever had with me thinking about it. But he just played too well, put a lot of balls in the court, and made me think about it. And then it made me focus a little harder at that 5-4 game.
Third final tomorrow. You ready?
I hope the third time's a charm. We'll see.
I think the crowd will be behind you.
I hope so. Thanks to all you for coming out.
All right, congratulations, James.
Thank you.
All right, Barry.
All right, Leif, a very happy 22-year-old. What a match he played. Some brilliant tennis. A look at James Blake. Great concentration, great control, and a great athlete. A classy competitor. He wins it in straight sets over Andre Agassi. And the final shot told it all. A very happy youngster. Blake, a straight set winner. Stay with us. We'll be right back.